Hey friends, welcome to Kaiser Cooking. So you know how the Discovery Channel has Shark Week? Well, I thought it would be fun here on my YouTube channel to do Tuna Week, where I showcase 7 good, bad, and crazy tuna recipes. Should be fun, should be interesting. I hope you'll stick around. So today's recipe is tuna cake, and it comes from the YouTube channel called In the Kitchen with Talli Faye. And when I saw the thumbnail come across my channel, tuna cake, it makes you go, oh, I don't know about that. And it's just one of those things you got to click on and watch. So I found it interesting and thought, hey, this would be a perfect recipe to showcase here on Tuna Week. So we're going to find out if it's a good, bad, or crazy tuna recipe. Let's jump in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make the frosting. So to do that, you just need to combine 2 bricks of softened cream cheese. I've let these out on the counter for a while, so they're up to room temperature-ish. Oh, crap. It's too soft. And then to the cream cheese, she says add 2 heaping cereal spoons of mayonnaise. Uno, dos. In her video, she had quite a fat spoon, so I'll add a little bit extra there. And then finally, just add some dill. To taste. Oh crap, that's way too much. Perfect. Begin to mix. Kind of break it up, and then I'll come at it with the beaters. And so she says, beat it until you've got a frosting-like consistency. And I think we've pretty well achieved that here. So that takes care of the frosting. So here we're going to add the main ingredients, which of course is the tuna. And now here we have 10 ounces of shredded tuna that was in water, and I've squeezed it dry. And then we'll add 1/4 cup of celery, plus a tablespoon on top of the 1/4 cup. Then we'll do the same with some minced onion here. As you can see, both of them are minced. Just grab our tablespoon of celery. And then we'll add a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of celery seed. So very celery heavy here. Tablespoon. And we've got a teaspoon. And then we'll do the same with dill. Oh, a little too much. Perfect. And then she says add a tablespoon of grated horseradish, not the creamed stuff. I looked for grated horseradish, couldn't find it. So I'm just using prepared horseradish by Morehouse. So I think she wants grated as opposed to creamed because we're trying to keep this dry. So I'll splash a little more in there. Just a bit of liquid. I also happen to like horseradish. And then half a cup of mayonnaise as a kind of binder. Oh, that horseradish is pungent. So far, so good. Then half a cup of sweet relish. I'm just using Vlasic here. She actually made her own in the video. There we go. Good enough. So then, of course, we just combine. And this shouldn't be too wet. She says it should be dry, otherwise the cake will be soggy. Smells are starting to combine. It's actually smelling pretty good. So this might end up being a good and not crazy tuna recipe. Certainly don't think this is going to be bad at all. And now it's time to build the actual cake itself. So to do that, we're going to take a plate. Then we've got some bread. And then what we're going to do is just layer the bread like this and make just a small loaf cake. She says what you can do if you want is, make it more of a square cake. But because it's just me here, I'm just going to do a simple loaf cake. She says if you want to be fancy and follow the original recipe in this, you cut the crust off, which makes sense. Also something like what you do in the 50s. And then we're just going to add our mixture here. In fact, maybe this would be better with a spoon. Maybe, that's way too much. Just layering it on thick. Then add a layer, and repeat. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. And I either have some left over, or this is going to be a tall cake. This just looks so crazy. This might be our last layer here. Last layer of tuna fish. At least I'm going to make it so. Gosh dang it. There we go. Let's see if I can keep it down. We've essentially made a huge multi-story sandwich. Now the frosting. Never been particularly good at frosting cakes, so we'll see how this one goes. So this is frosted fairly well. Don't know if you can get a good angle. Well, it's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it anyway. And yeah, it frosted up much like a cake. But then she recommends adding a little bit of garnish of dill. Probably could have, oh crap, spilled. Been a little bit more creative, but oh well, that's it. Then we're going to wrap it up with some saran wrap and stick it in the fridge. She says you want your wrap to touch the cake itself. So I guess I'm just going to double layer it. There we go. It's wrapped up, and we'll stick it in the fridge for a couple hours. Let the flavors blend together, and we'll try a slice later. Well, the tuna cake has sat in the fridge for the last 4 or so hours, so I think the flavors have had plenty of time to come together, so let's sample it. All right, well, I've decided the dill stripe here is just a racing stripe. But let's cut into it. It's actually cutting quite easily. Let's have a look at the layers here. You know, you can't really tell. I guess I'm still too far on the end. There we go. You can see a little more layerage, but it doesn't. I mean, it definitely looks like a cake. So let's taste it. Here's our slice right here. Looks pretty good. So let's get a piece with some of our cream cheese, mayonnaise, and dill frosting. The dill is a very sharp and forward flavor here. And the cream cheese helps mellow it out. And the cream cheese actually works better with this than I was anticipating. Have another little bite here. It really isn't bad at all. I'd say it leans more towards the crazy side. It's still good, but it isn't crazy good. It's crazy. It's good crazy, I guess you might say. Well, that does it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the rest of Tuna Week, as well as other good, bad, or crazy recipes. And I will drop a link down in the description to Talli Faye's original video if you want to check that out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.